Sugar is in absolutely everything, far more than you could possibly imagine, and is responsible for so many health issues such as being overweight, heart disease, cancers, diabetes, hormonal issues, sleep disorders, skin eruptions, and the list just goes on and on. So do you constantly crave sugar, feel tired or lacking in energy, and you're losing your creativity and your motivation for life? Sugar is as addictive as alcohol, drugs, and nicotine, and can have a detrimental effect on your health. So why is sugar so bad for your health? Sugar causes glucose levels to spike and plummet, so they become very unstable, and unstable blood sugar can leave you experiencing mood swings, emotional outbursts, fatigue, tiredness, depression, and headaches. And it also contributes to cravings, which begin the cycle of false hunger, which is why we can gain weight so readily. I'm not saying you have to cut out completely, but many clients of mine who have included foods in their diet that support the body and the cravings and stop the sugar need definitely feel more emotionally balanced, energized, and motivated. So right now, in the world that we are living in, we need our immune systems to be firing on all cylinders. This surely gives us even more motivation to at least cut down on the sugar, because sugar can interfere with the way your body fights disease. Bacteria and yeast feed on sugar as well. So excess glucose in the body causes these organisms to build up and cause infections. We've all heard of candida, right? Or maybe you suffer from heartburn or indigestion. Before you start popping over-the-counter medications, why don't you just look at the diet first? So much can be done naturally in regards to candida, thrush, fungal infections. If you stop feeding the body with the toxic poison that they feed off you with, then you are going to feel a whole lot brighter and more energized when tomorrow comes. A high sugar diet can also lead to chromium deficiency. Chromium is a trace mineral that helps regulate blood sugar in the body. While it can be found in things like meat, seafood, and plant foods, so many of us still don't get enough chromium because of refining starches. Other carbohydrates also rob foods of their chromium supplies, so limiting your carbs, not having too much on your plate, is your best bet for increasing those mineral levels, because a high carb diet will turn straight to sugar in your body. So sugar accelerates aging too. So while you probably know that sugars can affect your body composition, they also mess with your skin by contributing to wrinkles and sagging skin. So after the sugar hits your bloodstream, it attaches to the proteins, and the mix of these proteins with the sugar causes the skin to lose elasticity and leads to premature aging. So if you are wanting to look after yourself from a cosmetic perspective, cut down on these sugars and stay looking younger for a whole lot longer. Sugar also causes tooth decay, and with all the other life-threatening effects of sugar, we sometimes forget the most basic cosmetic damage that it can do. And when it sits on your teeth, sugar causes decay more efficiently than any other food. But not only that, sugar can cause gum disease too, which leads to heart disease. And I know that's a real thing, right? So you have to be careful, because chronic infections like those that can result from dental problems play a role in the development of heart disease. The connection stems from the body's inflammatory response to infection. And luckily this works both ways. So maintaining a healthy lifestyle will decrease your risk of common illnesses, which reduces the chance that they'll become more serious conditions later on. So the next thing is that sugar increases stress levels. When we're under stress, our bodies immediately kick into fight or flight mode, releasing large amounts of hormones. Surprisingly, the body has the same chemical response when blood sugar is low. After you eat a sweet snack, stress hormones begin to compensate for the crash by raising your blood sugar levels. The result? Unexplained feelings of anxiety, irritability, and even shakiness. Sugar also takes the place of important nutrients, and people who consume the most sugar have the lowest intakes of essential nutrients such as vitamins A, C, B12, and calcium. The trade-off is especially dangerous for children and teens who, without even thinking, consume the most amount of sugar, and they need the most amount of nutrients. So now that you understand the negative effects of sugar on your body and the mind, it's time to be more careful when it comes to choosing your food. I want to explain the best plant-based foods for you to have to fight your sugar cravings. And just so you realize, the more sugar that you have, the more you can crave. If you feel like you're constantly losing the battle against sugar cravings, please know that you are not alone. The average person in the westernized world consumes a whopping 3 pounds of added sugar extra per week, particularly if you're having packaged or processed foods. Excessive sugar intake, anything more than 6 teaspoons per day for women and 9 teaspoons per day for men, puts us at risk for weight gain, heart disease, inflammation, diabetes, and a host of other serious health problems, which I mentioned earlier. So when it comes to added sugar, the truth is the sugar calories are entirely empty calories. There's simply nothing to be gained from added sugar, and sadly, only your health and your well-being will lose. But the question is, why is it so hard to say no? I am a chocolate lover as well, you know, so it's not just you guys, and I sometimes have to really catch myself and force myself to eat the right things in order to stop the sugar craving. You know from experience that sugar cravings can be intense and persistent, and they can strike us at any moment of the day or night. During your break at work maybe, while you're driving or sitting in traffic, when you're relaxing in front of the TV after a long day, and of course during dessert after meals, leaving us feeling vulnerable to everything from small sugary snacks around the house to outright binges. You know, where you open that packet of digestive biscuits and you just can't stop at one? Happens to us all. So when we give in to our sugar cravings, it's so easy to blame ourselves for a lack of willpower and to resolve to do better next time, or let's start again on Monday. I've heard that so many times. But I want to explain to you that there's a lot more to sugar cravings than personal discipline. In fact, your body may be trying to tell you something really super important. You may be one of the millions of people who are deficient in key nutrients, and some of those missing nutrients, in fact, could be behind your sugar cravings. So let's start with looking at magnesium as an example. If you're craving sweets, and especially chocolate, a magnesium deficiency could be the culprit, because chocolate and cocoa are high in magnesium. So next time, instead of reaching for that chocolate bar or the brownie, try a good serving of a magnesium-rich, healthy, plant-based food, which I'm going to tell you about in a second. So as an experiment, try incorporating these other magnesium-rich plant foods into your diet on a regular basis and see if you notice a decrease in your sugar and chocolate cravings. The foods believed to be highest in chromium are plant foods such as broccoli, grape juice, whole wheat, potatoes, garlic, and basil. These are all the richest plant forms. Other plant foods such as orange juice, red wine, although I'm not condoning too much, apples, bananas, and green beans all have high amounts of this amazing mineral. The next mineral is a little less known, and it's called vanadium. And this is another trace mineral that helps to regulate the blood sugar in the body and may contribute to sugar cravings in the case of deficiencies, but there's currently no recommended daily allowance for this particular mineral. So like chromium, vanadium is found in very small amounts in many common foods that we tend to eat. Vegetables and grains are a great source, but in this case, fruits are not particularly good. Plant-based sources of vanadium are radishes, spinach, parsley, mushrooms, buckwheat, oats, soybeans, small amounts of beer or wine, dillweed and seed, black pepper, vegetables, oils, sunflower seeds or olive oil. But there are also other minerals which some believe can lead to sugar cravings in the case of deficiencies such as calcium and phosphorus. Calcium is one of the most common minerals in the body, and it's found predominantly in our bones and our teeth. And in addition to being essential for our skeletal system, calcium is also needed for the healthy functioning of our nerves, muscles, and cardiovascular system. So super, super important mineral. So the plant-based sources of calcium are things like collard greens, kale, bok choy, figs, broccoli, and oranges. Phosphorus is also a major mineral with multiple functions in the body. It's needed for bone, tooth, and muscle health. So great plant-based food sources of phosphorus are things like pumpkin seeds, squash seeds, Brazil nuts, beans, tofu, and whole grains. If you find yourself desperately hunting for some chocolate or a cookie around 10 p.m, it's probably not your belly that's sending you there, it's going to be your brain. You're tired and your brain wants a rush of sugar, so there are ways to raise dopamine levels and prevent those sugar cravings. In particular, the amino acid tyrosine, which is the building block of protein that has been shown to encourage the brain to release dopamine. And this is good, this is going to make you feel better. The best sources of tyrosine are eggs, spirulina, and sesame seeds. And spirulina, as you know, is one of my favourite superfoods that you can add to all your smoothies and your key food. The way to become adjusted to less sugar is to pile more veggies on your plate. This way you will feel fuller and are less likely to reach for the snacks, and veggies pack a power punch of nutrients like no other. Try adding 2 or more colours to your dish wherever possible. For example, if you have broccoli and green beans on your plate tonight, then try adding red cabbage and sweet potato, or yellow pepper and cauliflower. It's all about the rainbow goodness. Another really good tip is pairing fruit with protein, which will also help calm your cravings, and the protein-packed ingredients will help to keep you feeling satisfied for longer. Try a banana dipped in a natural almond butter, I've shown that in one of my videos, or mandarin oranges toasted with almonds and cottage cheese as a snack. Pea protein powder and hemp powder are also great superfoods to add to your smoothies, as it helps you to feel satisfied and full and gives you lasting energy to take you right the way through your day. Try including lots of berries into your diet as well. Berries contain polyphenols that inhibit many of the adverse consequences of sugar contained in the fruit without affecting taste. So also eat more nuts, seeds, avocados, olives and salmon. Not only are these foods heart healthy and they help with blood sugar control, they are also healthy fats. They will help dispel excess sugar from the diet and keep the body satisfied for longer, so you are less likely to have energy dips between your meals, which will prompt a quick sugar fix. So basically a simple healthy diet, one that's high in fibre, low in sugar and preservatives and unhealthy fats, is all that is needed to keep your body's interior as smooth and as sleek as the day you were born. Basically, the key is to eat more fibre, more good plant-based fats, and for a little sweet treat, if you really want one, you can have high in fibre dates. So dates are a great way to hit that sweet spot and get some fibre without giving into temptation. Adding dates to a cacao smoothie with fresh bananas, green spinach, maca powder, hemp seeds and dates with an avocado for added flavour is a great filling with good fats, fibre, and gives you a smooth, creamy texture. You get sweetness, fibre, the protein, and it will keep you full and happy and away from sugar and nasty sugar substitutes. Remember too, sometimes when you're craving something sweet, you're hungry or maybe even dehydrated. So drinking a big glass of water, at least 12 ounces, and eating an avocado on whole wheat sourdough is basically fantastic at curbing the cravings. This combination of fats from the avocado and the fermented sourdough bread will really satisfy you and keep you from going to the freezer for that tub of ice cream. So plant-based fats are a tasty way to alleviate sugar cravings. Something like coconut oil is a great plant-based fat that helps you. The other thing to remember is that it may seem hard to cut back on your sugar when baking, but you can use spices instead to add natural sweetness. I'll often add unsweetened cacao powder, cinnamon or vanilla extract to all of my recipes and find that this can be sweetness enough, because the less sugar you have, the less you crave. Cinnamon is a sweet spice that can stop sugar cravings when nothing else can. Cinnamon cures your sweet tooth and tricks the body into thinking that you've had some sugar. Cinnamon has been proven in research to help to reduce sugar cravings by controlling blood glucose levels, which minimises insulin spike after meals that leads to more hunger and consuming even more sugar. So you can add it into your cakes, your tea, coffee, sprinkle it on your porridge for extra support for your body. And at last but by no means least, freeze your grapes. Grapes are naturally sweet, so freezing them makes them refreshing and makes you feel like you're having a frozen treat. So when you're craving sugar, a handful of grapes can help alleviate your desire. So over the next week, I'm going to be adding some amazing sweet tooth alleviating recipes to all of our social media sites, so you can feel fully supported and your body can get the right amount of nutrients when cutting down on your sugar to alleviate your cravings. The benefits you will feel in your own well-being are going to be amazing. As always, your experience means so much to me, so please be in touch with your thoughts, reactions, experiences, maybe your recipe ideas. I'd love to hear how everything is going for you and how your health is benefiting. And this week in particular, in kissing those sugar cravings goodbye once and for all.